Maxx Crosby trade rumors, they're not going away. If anything, they are heating up. We're going to talk about it here on Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham, but guys, the merch is here. It is dropped. We teased it last week. We had the Chicago drinking team St. Patty's shirts, but these are the real deal. I worked with our designer on this one, and it's pretty awesome. It came out great. We have 3 shirt designs, the green, the navy, the black. You got QB1 rocking the cheese grater. The detail on these things, making the river green as well there with the mascot. You absolutely love it. I personally love the black shirt, and look at the collar, folks, the neck area. Our first show-themed tagged merch. You got Bears Now up there inside the neck area. Pretty freaking awesome. Hoodies coming soon as well. These t-shirts can be found right now, chatsports.com/Green River. When you go to that link, it's going to default to the green shirt, but you can toggle within there to black or to navy. $29.99. Awesome deal. Hoodies coming soon. Take advantage. St. Patty's Day just around the corner. I'm Harrison Graham, Maxx Crosby. Let's get into the latest as a Bears insider and an ESPN writer. Both had trade proposals between the Bears and the Raiders to send Maxx Crosby to Chicago. And by the way, speaking of QB1, he was on The Rush, which is Maxx Crosby's podcast. Do you guys want a full reaction to that podcast? If you do, I could do a video on that. Let me know in the comments. But Bill Zimmerman, Windy City Gridiron, he's had some scoops before. Here's what he had to say when it comes to Maxx Crosby and the Bears and a potential trade. He said, I talked to some people connected to the Raiders about what it might take. Neither of them felt that the first 2 round picks were going to be attainable due to Crosby's age. If someone offers 2 firsts, the Raiders will probably just take the offer and not look back. Talking to one person connected to the Raiders, he felt the Bears 2026 first, a 2027 day 2 pick, and DJ Moore, especially if the Bears ate some money and dropped his salary to about $18 million, is something the Raiders would strongly consider. I think that's an offer the Bears would have to strongly consider as well. So here is Zimmerman's reported trade based on what he's heard from someone in the Raiders organization, which is pretty interesting. 25th pick, a day 2 pick next year, which means either a 2nd or 3rd round pick in 2027, and DJ Moore. I think this is right at the max of what I would consider. I would not do 2 firsts. If that day 2 pick next year is a 2nd, that might be a little rich for me as well. If it's a 3rd, I think I'd be okay with that. DJ Moore, I don't want to call him a throw-in, but including him is really just to help free up some of the salary that you need to take on a player like Maxx Crosby. You save $16.5 million when you ship out DJ Moore. Crosby brings in about $30 million. If you cut Tremaine Edmonds, you're in the clear to make all of that happen. So I think something along those lines would have to take place for this to even be a possibility. And the reason I wouldn't give 2 1s or offer more than what Zimmerman is saying, and would even have to think about that offer, is he's been banged up the last couple of years. He had a knee surgery at the end of the year, and he may not be healthy till June. So he's going to miss probably a lot of the offseason program. Now, look, if he's full go by training camp for a guy of his stature, his status in the league, that's fine. But with how many snaps he's played, with his style of play, and just kind of 100 miles an hour all the time, this is probably not a guy who at 35 years old is still an ass kicker. Like, you're looking at this like, hey, the next 3 or 4 years, let's get a lot out of you and try to go for this thing. Let's try to win a Super Bowl. Like, that would be the mindset if you're trading for a guy like Maxx Crosby. This isn't, not to compare it to that team up north, the Packers. Look, Micah Parsons, if he's healthy, he might have 7, 8 more strong, high-level years. He's only 26. Crosby's going to be 29. He's been banged up. So you're probably looking at more of like a 3-4 year window here with a guy like him trying to get over the top and win that long-coveted Super Bowl for the Chicago Bears. Subscribe to the channel. I promise you this, if the Bears trade for Maxx Crosby, we're going live, and probably going to be live for a while. So turn on those notifications. This is the time of year to lock in because transactions are starting to take place. You saw the Dolphins start to make cuts. The Bears could start getting involved soon by, trying to acquire talent or by cutting players of their own. A player like Tremaine Edmonds certainly could be on the chopping block. So lock us in. We're not going to miss any news when it drops. We will cover it all for you guys. All right, coming up, could Maxx Crosby's trade value actually be lower than expected? Because there's been some mixed reporting on this. We will dive into that here in just a moment. But first, I got to tell you guys about today's sponsor, Prize Picks. They have been supportive and a longtime sponsor of ours for a while. So just want to thank them for that. But you guys should get going with Prize Picks. I've been using Prize Picks for years. Shoot your shot on Prize Picks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right. Prize Picks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5. Prize Picks makes every dunk, every dime, and every board that much more exciting. So don't miss the chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports pick. Football might be over, but I'm just getting started with Prize Picks as the football action is done, but the hoops action is heating up. Just pick more or less on stat projections on 2 to 6 player lineups regardless of sport, and you are good to go. Later this week, I like more on Anthony Simons' Goblin play, 1.5 threes. Someone's got to chuck for the Bulls. Give me the more on Simons there. And then less on Al Horford points, rebounds, assists. 20 to win 38 there. The Goblin play brings down the payout a little bit if I hit, but a little bit easier to hit. Gives me a better chance. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it is good to be right. Okay, Bill Barnwell has a trade idea, ESPN, and he does this article every year. And by the way, I think I saw 8 of the players he mentioned in his trade proposals last year got traded. So, he's not the insider, but he's using the intel out there to cook up these trade ideas. And this caught me off guard. Maxx Crosby to the Bears and a 5th next year for DJ Moore and a 1st this year, 25th overall. I think I'm doing that in a heartbeat, right? Like, essentially, you're trading 25 overall for Maxx Crosby, right? Again, DJ, it's the money play. You clear out some of the cash, and you get a 5th next year, which isn't a lot, but to get a pick back and only give up 1 premium pick, and again, it's not like the Bears are picking top 10. They're picking 25th overall. That, I think, to me, that feels low, but if it's available, I'd be doing that pretty quick. Barnwell had this to say about it. He said, Crosby has resisted trade overtures in the past with hopes of being part of a Raiders turnaround, but after the star edge rusher was held out late in the season as Las Vegas attempted to successfully land the first pick, something seemed to turn. Crosby hasn't publicly requested a trade, and the Raiders moved on from Coach Pete Carroll after the season, but there's certainly some smoke here. I talked to our Raiders Report host, Mitchell Renz. He truly thinks it's a coin flip. He thinks it's a 50-50 coin flip that Crosby gets dealt. And he's even said that some Raider fans have kind of come to the conclusion like, hey, it's probably better if we trade Maxx Crosby at this point. We've kind of broken down how Max has not publicly requested a trade, but he has not gone out of his way and been like, I want to make it work here either. So I do think he's very open-minded to it. Sounds like he's going to meet with the Raiders before the Combine, and I would imagine there's some kind of conclusion by the end of those meetings like, hey, we're going to shop you, or hey, we're going to keep you. So there could be some movement in the next couple of weeks here. More from Barnwell from the Bears side of this. He said the Bears have the 25th pick, and GM Ryan Poles has not been shy about using draft picks to add talent. Crosby pushes everyone into the right role, notably Sweat, who would see far fewer double teams. Giving up a first-round pick would be painful, but if they think they're close to making a deeper playoff run, adding Crosby would be one way to leverage Caleb Williams' rookie scale salary. And I think the thing Barnwell says there that I agree with is he makes everybody's job easier, is what he's saying. Remember when Ryan Poles called Montez Sweat a multiplier? Montez Sweat's a good player, but Maxx Crosby is more of a multiplier. Like, you get Montez Sweat more one-on-one opportunities, he's going to take advantage. Right now, teams can just double him and kind of eliminate him for the most part, and the other Bears defensive lineman can't take advantage of one-on-ones. Whereas, okay, Maxx Crosby, who can beat double teams a decent amount, is going to draw a lot of those. Then Montez Sweat's getting one-on-ones. Austin Booker's getting better opportunities. Just the domino effect of what that could mean if you got a guy like Maxx Crosby could be huge. And so, again, I look at this trade idea, and I'm like, I think that's a calculated swing if the Bears make it. Like, I'm on the fence with the Zimmerman one where it's like, first, day 2 next year, especially if it's a second. That's kind of a lot. But if it's just your first this year and a weaker draft at the top, I think I'm willing to take that chance. Like, I think that's something I would do. Now, what is a trade actually going to look like? I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, if this trade is available, and I think even the biggest DJ Moore fans on the planet would look at this and say, that'd be a hard opportunity to pass up. You give him a first this year, you get a 5th back next year, and you swap DJ Moore and Maxx Crosby. I think you have to take that chance if you're the Chicago Bears. Would you do this trade? I certainly would. Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know in the comments section below. I think it's too good of an opportunity to pass up. All right, guys, appreciate you for tuning in. Check out the merch, chatsports.com/Green River. Also, TikTok, @HGramNFL. Give your boy a follow over there, as that is my handle for all platforms. Appreciate all the love and support. We will be back later with another episode.